So, in effect, we now have 3 oversight bodies for the IMF program. It is not about talking about doing it. It is about actual results.
And
the state should not endorse or use violence as a normalized tool of control over its citizens.
you're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Simone Wolf. Prime Minister Andrew Holness joined the Cuban people in mourning the death of former President Fidel Castro. In a letter to President Raul Castro, Mr. Holness expressed the island's deepest condolences and remembered the former leader as a revolutionary. Prime Minister Holness said Jamaica was grateful for the over 40 years of bilateral relations with Cuba, particularly in the areas of education and health. The former Cuban leader died Friday at the age of 90. Also on Friday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness instructed the National Works Agency to redouble its efforts in the measurement and certification of the works it has completed to ensure value for money. Mr. Holness also directed the agency not to pay for work which has not met its approved standards and protocols. The Prime Minister gave those directives after receiving a full briefing of the ongoing island-wide mitigation drain cleaning program. Mr. Holness was told that $548.45 million has been used to carry out debushing and drain cleaning up to January 2017. So far, only $124 million has been approved for payment to contractors. At the start of last week, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced the formation of a tripartite monitoring committee. The team will oversee the implementation of Jamaica's standby agreement recently reached with the IMF. Part of that committee is the newly formed Public Sector Transformation Oversight Committee, PSTOC, which will be in charge of meeting targets related to public sector reform and transformation, as well as social protection. PSTOC will join the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, and the Economic Growth Council, EGC.
While keeping the principles of transparency, public accountability, and civic engagement, we wish to design the monitoring framework to address the challenges ahead. Not only must we maintain fiscal responsibility, but we must transform the public sector and grow the economy.
And Prime Minister Holness announced the appointments of key persons to lead 2 of the monitoring committees. JMMB boss Keith Duncan was named the new co-chair of EPOC. Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Douglas Saunders and trade union educator Danny Roberts will jointly chair PSTOC.
It is very important that the government be kept on its toe. There is no room for error on the IMF program.
Prime Minister Holness made good on government's promise to include youth in national decision-making with last Tuesday's launch of the Youth Advisor Council.
We value the positive contributions of our youth, and they are a vital part of the decision-making process. They are the change agents and need to play a direct role in shaping and influencing policies and programs that will affect them. It is important that they are engaged and their voices are heard.
The 16-member council will serve for 2 years ending in 2018. They will assist the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information with some specific youth-related policies, after which they'll expand their services to other ministries, agencies and departments of government. The Prime Minister recommitted his government, meanwhile, to upholding the rights of all Jamaicans when he met with a delegation from Amnesty International. At last Tuesday's meeting, Prime Minister Holness received the report titled Waiting in Vain, an examination of the challenges facing the Jamaica Constabulary Force. He said his administration was already tackling some of the recommendations made in the report to include legislative and justice reform. And last Thursday, Mr. Holness renounced the use of violence as a means of control over citizens within all government ministries, departments and agencies.
This is a policy direction that I have given to the government of Jamaica. Our police force must never be seen as a purveyor of violence against its citizens. And we are going to change that. Our state homes must not be perceived as purveyors of violence against our children.
Prime Minister Holness gave those instructions at the launch of the Global Partnership to End Violence Against Children initiative.
As a pathfinder country, Jamaica is committed to providing comprehensive, coordinated, and multi-sectoral services for preventing and responding to violence. We are prepared to strengthen legislation to protect children from all forms of violence and exploitation by bringing all sectors together in a movement to end violence and provide children with a meaningful role at the heart of that movement.
That's it for Jamaica House Weekly. We'll return next time with more of the news coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.